septic tanks, extract it, and all this does not augur well for the groundwater system.
Your question is talking about contamination of surface. Is about contamination of surface water and deep wells. When we talk about deep well, we're talking about borehole and what have you, and whatever. There is any source of water that is below the first impervious layer, because the soil itself serves as a filtration process for water. A lot of things may occur as earth impact, but you must know that one of those things that tends to cause a lot of contamination of surface water and deep soil water is our individual grid. When you break pipelines, you can easily contaminate surface water and deep water. And then this may be one of the reasons why some of those things are seen in all those areas. Because you do know that some of these, when you are drilling for oil, they are really deep down. And that is why under normal circumstances, it is not at that level. But a lot of these things occur because the soil, there are damage in the process of delivering of this oil, or what I call hydrocarbons. And the health effect of hydrocarbon on water is multiple. You know that for water to be wholesome, it must meet what we call the physical characteristics. It must be odorless, colorless, tasteless, and also aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And all those things are necessary for water that should be used for household use. And there are biological characteristics that it must be free from pathogenic organisms. But you must realize that in this area, it's more about chemical composition that is contaminated, that contaminates this source of water. And most of the reactions that could occur are due to reaction to hydrocarbons. And that could occur with minor issues like dermatitis, skin irritations, itching, and other things, to severe conditions like diarrhea. Because when you consume the two, because some of these hydrocarbons cannot be digested or absorbed from the intestinal tract, they line the intestinal tract and can lead to diarrhea and also damage the intestinal tract. Moreover, it could also lead to damage, long-term damage, in terms of causing genetic changes in the cell division, which eventually may lead to cancer, because some of the hydrocarbons or chemical agents has been associated with the genesis of certain cancers. And therefore, if people come in contact with it over a long period of time, you might start seeing an increased incidence or prevalence of such disorder occurring in that population. And that also could also affect fertility, because when we talk about cancer, cancer is due to rapidly dividing cells. These chemicals are affecting rapidly dividing cells. And fertility also are determined by rapidly dividing cells. And also the blood cells too are rapidly dividing cells. So some of these chemicals could affect all those areas, and that may result in disease condition, either affecting the cell division. It may manifest with blood dyscrasia like leukemias. It could result in cancer of the skin depending on the contact with it and what have you. So those are some of those things that could occur. But nobody can say exactly how long the dosage before you manifest with this disorder, or that what quantum, because you do realize that individuals will react differently to different dose and duration.
The government should really do that, they should control this, because the government is always looking at the formal sector, which services about 40% of the city. Pt.2 axis and every other, that's a very huge population in these axes. The formal service is very limited there. So the government should just not think about control in terms of the formal sector. The informal sector needs a lot of control. The abstraction, how do people use water? Wastewater should be given a very big focus in the city, because we can't continue like this. The city is too big to leave every other wastewater to just percolate. The system is overloaded enough that it won't be able to take care of it. And if it's not going to take care of it, then the groundwater is going to be doomed. And it's a shame if it's that, because, like I said, it's going to be a big crisis. Already it's showing in some areas we don't know, because we normally ascribe anything that happens to us to something or the other. But a lot of people in Lagos are not drinking good water, but they don't know. It's showing in so many things. The rate of all these diseases. Uh, you can see a lot of Nigerian Lagosians. They tell you they have typhoid fever here and today. You know what they consume in some cases. And we don't even know. That is about the biotic factor of water. What about the chemical ones that we don't know? So it may even be responsible for a lot of carcinogenic things. You could see the Pt.2 axis where the pipelines seep into the groundwater system. We see it in the newspaper every time. People are consuming organic aromatic compounds, which are known to be carcinogenic. So many things. We are just consuming things. There are a lot of leaded materials that are in the dump site that leach into the groundwater. So the chemical aspect of it, even our water system, needs to be well monitored and known so that you can alert the people. And that's the function of government.
So, what are some of these challenges in the state?
Yes, we do have some leakage from time to time, and we try to attend to them as fast as we can, and we always advocate advocate that members of the public please report whenever they see busts. However, I wish to quickly state that what we lose in leakage, which we refer to as technical losses, is probably far less than what we lose as administrative losses. Administrative losses consist of water, which is water that is consumed, which is not captured by Lagos Water Corporation. For instance, there are so many people that get services from Lagos Water Corporation that are probably not on our database. So you never hear from these people unless there's a problem with supply. That is when they may report. But we're working on capturing every consumer on our database. So the bulk of that unaccounted for water goes to such consumers. And of course, also we've got illegal connections, specifically people who abstract water from our mains and repackage, same as sachet water, pure water, which is sold. We are currently working with the Ministry of Environment to enforce some sanity in the sector.
Since the approval on the nation's water supply policy in 2000 to encourage private sector participation at state level, only 4 states have implemented this policy, which include Lagos, Cross River, Kaduna, and Ogun states.
The policy thrust of the government is PPP, public-private partnership, and we have embarked on that journey. In year 2010, we developed a master plan whereby we will grow our existing water scheme from 210 to 745 million gallons per day by year 2020, when the population of this state is expected to hit 29 million, which will make us third largest mega city in the world. The prosecution of that master plan will cost us about $3.5 billion. Definitely, the government doesn't have all that to spend on just one sector. There's a health sector to contend with, education sector to contend with, security sector also to contend with. Hence, we are partnering with the private sector to execute that master plan. We have commenced even on that, We are in discussion with a foreign partner for the development of a 50 million gallons per day water scheme in Yewa, in Badagry. That scheme will take care of that entire corridor from Badagry to Mile 2. Right now, we're doing site preparation, site and final design preparation, and that will be undertaken by the foreign partner under a PPP scheme.
Customers are either charged a linear tariff, as it is the case of Lagos State.
Right now, I must say, Lagos Water Corporation is the cheapest producer of water. Our tariffs are unsustainably low. They're as low as 50 naira per month in some areas to 2,400 naira per month in other areas. 2,400 naira per month works out to about 80 naira per day. 80 naira per day does not get you a bottle of table water. So we need to look at that for sustainability. Look at tariff. Even as low as our tariffs are, a lot of people are not willing to pay. There's a need for the public to see water, not as a social good, but as an economic good.
In order to provide adequate water to its teeming population, the Lagos State government has initiated a process that would deliver at least 900 million litres of potable water to homes in different parts of the state to reduce the current water challenge in the state.